So what is the best outreach method that you can use for SMMA in 2021? Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Vince, helping new coaches, consultants and agency owners scale their own business. In today's video, we're going to go over what is the best outreach method for SMMA. Let me tell you that there isn't one. So I know this might be disappointing to some of you guys who are expecting like the holy grail of outreach method to grow your agency or consulting business. The one outreach method that you can use that's magically going to take you to 10K per month in 5 days. That doesn't actually exist. Now, let me tell you how you can actually go about finding the best outreach method for you, because that could exist, but there isn't one that works for everyone. So the first question that I think you need to ask yourself if you want to find the best outreach method for you personally is, what is your niche? Now, once you know what is your niche, what is the market that you are trying to serve and your exact service, once you're very clear on who you're serving and how are you serving them, then you can start going and asking maybe other agency owners who are in the same niche as you about what worked best for them. You can start going on Google and researching what's the best outreach method for that certain niche that you're working with. You know, there might be some niches that, for example, work better with cold calling than others. Like, for example, if you want to work with an e-commerce store, probably cold calling is not going to be the best way to go. But if you want to work with, let's say, local shops or restaurants or chiropractors or whatever, then cold calling could be a better option. Let's say if you want to work with influencers, for example, and content creators and coaches, whatever, Instagram outreach and cold messaging might be a lot better, but for other niches it might not work because they might not even check their Instagram DMs. So it really can depend from niche to niche, and that's why it's important to first know what niche you're serving and what offer you're offering for them. Go on Google and do some research, see whether anyone posted anything about what worked for them, for someone who is actually in the same niche as you. And then also go ahead and find other agency owners who are in the same niche as you, who are offering the same service as you, and ask them what worked best for them. Now, that shouldn't be your only reference point when it comes to this research. You should also do your own testing and start reaching out to people, start reaching out at a massive scale. Also make sure that you track your outreach, track how many cold emails you sent, track how many cold messages you sent on Facebook and Instagram, track how many people you cold called, and so on. And then once you track this all in a Google sheet, you can actually start seeing patterns on which one performed the best, which one got you how many replies, how many meetings, and how many clients. So like I said, because there is no one fits all approach to this, that's why it's so important to test out things on your own. Let's say your niche is car dealerships and you want to work with car dealerships, then start, let's say, cold calling 100 different car dealerships and track that data in a Google sheet, and then send out 100 cold messages to other dealerships and see whether you got more meetings from the cold messages and more replies than from the cold calls. If you did, then that probably is better than cold calling in that example. Send out 100 cold emails and see whether that performed better. Once you get like some real data, let's say you did 200 of each of these outreach types, then you can start working with that data and then start acting based on the data that you got. So for example, if out of these 3 things, the best was by far the cold messaging, then just double down on that and send out even more cold messages. And then once you know what is the best kind of platform or way of outreaching for you, then you can start making some more iterations about your messaging or your script. Like, you want to make small changes and then track that as well. Track whether the version 2 of your outreach script performed better than the version 1. If it didn't, then just go back to version 1 and try out a different method. And you just want to keep refining your outreach method, and it is something that never stops. You should always keep refining it, and also make sure that you keep tracking your data, because that is the most valuable thing that you can do when it comes to outreach, in my experience. So just to give you my personal example on why you shouldn't just blindly rely on what other people say, my niche is entrepreneurs and influencers who want to grow on YouTube, and the service I offer for them is content creation and SEO. So basically like YouTube growth. People told me that the best way to reach this audience is email and cold looms, and I tried that, but it didn't work out so well for me. But once I tried doing Instagram messages, very simple Instagram outreach, and sending out some video outreaches, that performed so much better for me. And so that just shows you like why it's so important to try out different outreach methods, because that's how you can differentiate yourself from all the competitors out there. Go ahead, whatever your niche is, whether it's car dealerships, whether it's coaches, consultants, whether it's watch dealers, whether it's jewelers, whether it's e-commerce stores, just go ahead, try out different outreach methods, put in the work, track the data, and then decide on what you double down on based on what the data tells you. And make sure that you don't make any judgments until you have a significant amount of data. And I would say for outreach, that should be at least 200 to 300 outreaches per method. I think that gives you enough data to make a good judgment, but you might need a lot more depending on your niche and a lot of other factors as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick video, and I hope it was helpful for you. I know that it sucks that there isn't just one magic outreach method that works for everyone, but if you find the best outreach method for you, that's going to be so much better than if it was just one outreach method that worked for everyone, because that would be saturated, and so that's why it couldn't work for everyone actually. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it again. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to click subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and peace.